Well, we have a special guest for you right now. Joining us on the line is a man who I guess could be another one of the biggest free agents in professional wrestling, not currently with World Wrestling Entertainment or Total Nonstop Action. We welcome none other than the man with the longest streak in professional wrestling history. Bill Goldberg joins us on the program. Bill, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. And you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for joining the program. We got to ask you, I mean, with TNA currently in the state that it is, Bill, you've been dormant from the professional wrestling industry for a very long time, and with TNA collecting a lot of talent as they are, talking to the likes of RVD, having signed Ken Anderson and the like, what's the status of Bill Goldberg?
Status of Bill Goldberg is I'm 43 years old. I have a 4-year-old little boy. I have a wife. And I have 3 TV shows that I'm currently filming. So unless I can reinvent a 25-hour day, man, I just don't see it possible.
Now, what is the status of the Celebrity Apprentice? I just happened to see the commercials just last week. Where are you in terms of the taping of that, or is that going on live as the weeks go on?
No, that was filmed in late October. Through late December, late November, and that's one of those deals where it's a delayed program, and I got 2 other shows that I'm working on right now. So it's as much as I'd love to be able to get back there for the fans, man. It's really difficult juggling all the things that I have on my plate right now. In preparing for life after wrestling, I'm now fully engulfed in life after wrestling, so. To go back to it would be almost impossible at this point. So, unless something and or somebody came to the table with some type of a deal that would make it that it would behoove me to push something else to the side, I just don't see it as a reality.
Bill, has that kind of reach out been had for you? Has somebody from any organization contacted you lately and said, we want Bill Goldberg on the roster?
No, man. I mean, I personally believe that the general consensus out there in the wrestling world is of the opinion that I have moved on to other things. As far let me get the record straight with this TNA deal. Everybody, whether it be on my Twitter, the real Goldberg, or whether it be on MySpace, or whether it be through my website. I have had millions of people asking me about, why I haven't signed a contract that's been given to me by TNA. And let's be perfectly clear, ladies and gentlemen, I have never been contacted by I haven't been contacted by TNA since Dixie Carter and I had a nice lunch here in San Diego probably 4 years ago. So the ball is not in my court to say that I would hit the ball out of the park if it were pitched to me. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination, but what I'm saying is the pitch hasn't even been made. So please, people, understand that it's not me turning a deal down. That's not why I'm not in professional wrestling right now.
Well, one thing that I do want to ask you, Bill, in one avenue that you have branched out into has been sort of the world of MMA. We've seen you, getting into the MMA gym. Even you had a couple of vignettes with Kimbo Slice as well, and this is a sport and a culture that really wasn't anywhere near the top or anywhere near prevalent when you were on the top of the wrestling world, and it's now sort of become a competitor of sorts for wrestling, at least in terms of the pay-per-view game. Do you think that MMA and pro wrestling, do you think that they are indeed competition, and do you think that they can coexist as they are right now?
The fact is that, yes, they are competition. Can they coexist? Absolutely. Did I know that MMA was going to be the forefront of sports entertainment? Absolutely, or I wouldn't have patterned my character after a football player / mixed martial artist. I've been a fan of MMA for a long, long time. I mean, I once owned the largest MMA gym in the world. So I have been not only a practitioner, but now I still currently partially own a Muay Thai gym out here in Oceanside, California. So MMA is a wonderful sport. It's a wonderful source of entertainment. I think that it is a direct competitor to the pay-per-view buys that the World Wrestling Federation is trying to get and TNA are going to try to get. And perfectly honest, it's no competitor because it just blows wrestling out of the water right now. Because from what I've heard, the landscape of the wrestling world is not very favorable at this point. So.
Well, Bill, let me ask you this. I mean, in terms of MMA, I mean, we see the likes of Herschel Walker joining Strikeforce, and with Randy Couture and Mark Coleman having bouts at the age that they are. I'm not trying to date you in terms of your age, but when could we see Bill Goldberg in an MMA ring fighting professionally? Oh,
never, man, never. I mean, I
That's not in the cards?
I toyed with it for quite some time, but it was a possibility when I was single, but now that I'm married and with a kid and with, juggling television world and actually starting my own production company, it's almost impossible to be able to devote the proper time that's necessary to go out there and not make yourself look like a fool. Brock's young and he's got a lot of experience in the one-on-one field as far as collegiate wrestling is concerned, and that's a huge step up in the MMA world.
Bill, before
I've done it years ago, absolutely. Will I do it now? No, man. There's no.
No, that's a fair assessment. And before we let you go, Bill, I got to ask this question. A lot of wrestlers that leave professional wrestling under similar circumstances, like yourself, get that sickness. It never leaves your body. Wrestling's like a drug. You always have to have it. And it seems like you've really moved on from professional wrestling. Was it difficult for you at any time to say, man, I really got to get back into pro wrestling, or I'm just happy moving on with my life?
No, it's a natural progression. It's not like me getting out of football. Me getting out of football is and was the worst experience of my entire life because it wasn't on my terms, and it was the only dream I ever had. Professional wrestling was a stage. It was a business opportunity. To say that I missed the adrenaline rush and missed the ability to put a smile on a kid's face, with just a look. Yeah, absolutely, I miss that, but do I miss it enough to drop everything that I'm doing and go back to it? Absolutely not. Am I passionate for it? Yes. Am I stupid about it? No.
Well, Bill, we really appreciate your time. One more time for the fans, how can people reach you on Twitter?
It's The Real Goldberg.
The Real Goldberg, so people can reach you there. And where else?
Yeah, and then, BillGoldberg.com. I got a new website coming up in a couple of weeks, and I got a lot of different stuff going, man. And first and foremost, let me say that I'm not turning my back on the professional wrestling fans. I'll never forget what they did for me and continue to do for me. But I'm not going to be Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan.
You know what they say, Bill. You never say never in the world of professional wrestling, and people know where to reach you on BillGoldberg.com for those projects. We really appreciate you taking time out for us, my man.
You got it, man. Take care. Have a good one.
Bill Goldberg, there you go. A star-studded affair here on Right After Wrestling. We will try and get you Sean Stasiak and Gabe Sapolsky at a later time. Get them rescheduled. Thank you very much for tuning in to Right After Wrestling. Another episode is in the books. Last call is next. You're listening to SIRIUS Channel 98, Hardcore Sports Radio.